All good, we're live. What are we on here, Instagram or Facebook? Good morning Instagram, good morning YouTube. Welcome to an unboxing video. Today I want to do another kind of slightly different take on these unboxings. You're used to seeing a lot of Fenders and Gibsons from us, but today is a Suhr day. So I've got a little bit of a Suhr mattering of Suhr guitars for you, ha ha ha, to get out. We've got some really nice new dealer select guitars, in fact, and some new SIGs, and a couple of tried and true modern guitars as well. So it's a really nice selection. There's probably going to be something for everyone here, which is what we tend to do with these unboxings. It's a really nice variety of instruments. So I'm going to get into the dealer select stuff first, because this is stuff that you won't have seen before. And this is kind of a takeoff of the stuff that you may have seen from us in the past, the classic guitars that we've had, the S&T style guitars. And we decided to... Beg your pardon? John is off to my right, in case anyone didn't realise, so if I get anything wrong, I'll be able to immediately correct you. Okay, so this is a takeoff, as I say, of the classic that we had before, but this time it's the Alt T series with a couple of crucial spec changes. So it looks very much like a regular Alt T, but you'll notice straight away that this is a custom colour for these dealer select guitars, butterscotch or trans butterscotch finish, which you usually see on the classic Ts, now made its way to the Alt Ts. And most crucially of all, the biggest spec change is that all these guitars will have roasted maple necks. And actually it's quite nice that Suhr have picked out some particularly dark examples of roasted maple necks. I believe there's some with rosewood fingerboards as well as the maple fingerboards. This guitar with the butterscotch finish, I believe, is an ash body, and you've also got some older wood bodies. So it's the same kind of typical genetic makeup of the Alt T, but electronically you've also got the change back to the original Thorn pickups that these guitars used to have. The stock model now has SSV pickups with spec Thornbuckers. So if you want something that's a little bit tonally different to the regular model and looks different and feels different, that's what these dealer select guitars have always aimed to be. That's exactly what this is. So it's a great way to kick things off. I think this is a really nice guitar. And as I go through the rest of the colour options, there's a bunch more on the way, and every guitar is going to have right-handed and left-handed variants. So that's something for everybody, as I said. Thank you very much. I've decided, by the way, to just keep these guitars in shot. We don't normally do that. Normally they come and go very quickly, and particularly on the live videos that we do, a lot of people say, "What was that? I missed that one." Don't worry, you don't have to rewind. They're all going to be in shot all the time. Okay. So another Alt T. As I say, we've got plenty of colours on the way, and I'm not going to show you all of them today, but this is just a good example of what makes these dealer select guitars a little bit different with the guitars I'm going to show you. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what this one is. Okay, so once again, this is a guitar that you probably will have seen before. This natural finish. This one's actually really grainy, and I believe the natural finishes are the ash bodied as well. Am I right, John? Got a nod there. Yeah, so ash body on this one and on the trans butterscotch. So if you want something that's perhaps a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter sounding, I think the ash body is the way to go. And then this guitar also has the same roasted maple neck with roasted maple fingerboard, Thornbucker pickups once again, and this time you've got the kind of pearloid white pickguard as well. So a couple of really different aesthetic options, but at the heart of it, I mean, I've talked before about how I feel about the Alt T. I think it's one of the best guitars in production today. It's certainly one of Suhr's best models, and now it's really nice that you just got a few different options. So another great one there. Let's stick it on this side this time. Okay. Okay, so I've got one more of these guitars today that I'm going to show you. Do keep your eye on the website if you're interested in these, because, as I say, there's a lot more coming. There's actually quite a few more here that I'm showing you. So if you're looking for a different colour, there's at least half a dozen colours, I think. So check out the website for even more stock. Thank you. Okay. Thanks. Okay, last alt T of today. And hey, look, it's that way around. So as I said, we've got some variants of each colour, right-handed and left-handed. So no one is going to be left out. Whether you want any colour, whether you want rosewood or maple, you've got the option of each, right-handed or left-handed. I actually really like this colour, so I'm kind of a little bit sad that this Fiesta Red, this first one, isn't a right-handed guitar, so I don't get to play it. But I'm sure it's going to make someone very happy. If you've maybe never considered Suhr guitars before because you just don't see enough left-handed options, this is a great way to get into this brand via this Dealer Select series. The Alt T, as I said, is one of the best guitars you could hope to pick up from this brand or any brand. So if you've never considered Suhr before, this would be your gateway if you're a lefty. There we go. Okay, so that's enough Alt Ts for today. As I said, we've got a bit of a mix. Oops, put that fret protector back. Okay. Let's see what's next, shall we? So, moving away from the Alt Ts into some of the signature models, which some of these we saw unveiled at NAMM this year, others are sort of slight revisions on existing signature models. But we've got a nice little mix of both. So, just get the box out of the way, and then we can go straight into, thank you, this first SIG. So this is the most significant change to a signature model for 2020. Suhr's artist roster doesn't really seem to expand that much, and that's really nice. They've just got a real core kind of family of artists that they like to work with, and every year it seems that they listen to those artists' requests and they just put in some different specs to match what they're doing nowadays. So with that being said, let me show you what's happened to this model for this year. You might not recognize this at all, but this is actually a revision to Ian Thornley's signature model. So most people will know Ian Thornley as having that signature JM, which I actually thought they were really cool guitars, but it seemed that he wanted something different for 2020, so he's gone to a classic S body style. Same pickup configuration though of the HSH, with the same Goto 510 bridge system, roasted maple neck. It's got that same really nice sort of soft V, and it's quite a chunky neck actually. So, you know, this is a one-off anyway for most Suhr guitars to see HSH, but also to have it coupled with that bigger neck, this is going to sound, just tonally, very different to other classic S guitars. I think it looks really nice as well. There's some really interesting colorways with this guitar. I think, off the top of my head, I can't remember the others, but I do remember seeing them at the show and thinking that they were particularly stand out. But this, I guess, Sonic Blue, really nice, really classic. So I think maybe the Thornley model of yesteryear was a little bit too contemporary for some. This is obviously moving in a more classic direction. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable for most, and it looks a little bit more stealthy. It doesn't look like an overtly signature guitar. So if you're interested in that and you want maximum tonal variety, here's a great classic S for you, the Thornley model. Okay, I've set up this little tree, and I'm hoping they're all going to stay on there. Right, let me shove that back in there. And this is also a guitar, by the way, for all the gig bag naysayers. If you want a hard case with your guitar, here you go. Get in one of the signature models and you got it. Okay, next SIG is beg your pardon. Next SIG is, yeah, that one's a relic. Okay, something that you will have seen before, in fact. So I'm not gonna talk any more about it. I'm just gonna show it to you because this is a good one. It's kind of a fan favourite as well as a player's favourite. This is actually, I believe, the latest addition to the artist roster was Matteo Asato, and this is his original spec Classic S with the bridge humbucker, and I believe he's got his new Asato bucker actually, which I think is in this guitar. So that's a pickup that's been voiced for him, which is really great. So it's kind of got a few more of the nuances that his playing goes for, which anyone who knows him and how amazing a guitar player he is. He's very, very dynamic and fluid kind of vocal guitar player, so this pickup is probably going to be harmonically leaning in that direction a little bit more. I think it might be a little bit hotter than a standard SSV or something. You've got the roasted maple neck, which is quite a chunky neck actually, rosewood fingerboard, and the really nice shell pink. We've seen a few of the glossy black models more recently, but the shell pink is actually still my favourite. I think it's the right blend between classic and modern. That's something that Suhr anyway do really, really well in all their guitars, but this really exemplifies it very, very well. Okay, so as I said, that is something that most people will probably have seen before, and but in case you haven't, you know, here it is. We've got it back in stock, and I believe there's going to be more of the Matteo models on the way anyway. Okay, now I'm going to rectify my previous mistake, pick this guitar up, and of course, being a Suhr guitar, it's going to be fine. It's probably still even going to be in tune. In fact, I know it's going to be in tune because this is the last of the signatures I'm going to show you. And it's a signature for a man who needs to stay in tune for a living. And in fact, he's made revisions to this guitar to aid with that very fact. So this is the Pete Thorn signature in the glorious candy apple red finish. And actually, I haven't seen one of these guitars in this finish before. It's got a totally blacked out rear appearance. So the glossy black body with the black, I think it's a mahogany neck on this guitar, with a rosewood board. That really nice new finish. And what I was talking about with the tuning was Pete made a revision to this guitar with these new Wilkinson locking bridge saddles, and you'll have seen in the Pete Thorn signature kind of overview video I did talking about this bridge on the new models, there is a noted increase in tuning stability. The Goto 510 bridge is fantastic, and these saddles just kind of retrofit to it. It makes for a nice improvement, but this is still the same guitar that debuted a few years ago. It's still got the same level of versatility with the 5-way switch and the series parallel option for the bridge pickup. So a bunch of great tones. This is kind of as close to as Suhr gets to that Gibson Fender-y kind of a hybrid. That's exactly what Pete Thorn wanted. It's a really nice classic looking guitar, but it delivers on a lot of different tonal foundations. So that's a great one, and I think that colour is definitely one of the best that we've seen. Okay, and it's almost in tune. So that's pretty much all the stuff that is new that we saw at the NAMM show this year, but there's a couple more things I want to show you that pertain maybe a little bit more to the classic Suhr fans. So if you're not necessarily into the stuff that they've been doing in more recent years with all these kind of classic and heritage type designs, then this is where things will get a little bit more traditional for you in terms of what Suhr is known for. Got another hard case here, which is nice. Make sure that doesn't fall. Let me just chuck that out of the way actually. Thank you. Ooh, okay. Right, before I show you this, this is very visually striking, and this is something I've not seen from Suhr before at all, so I'm guessing this is a brand new thing for this year. Just going to take the fret protector off as well. Look at that. So they're doing some modern satins again, but this time with these gradient burst finishes, which is really cool. You might remember that Suhr did the modern satin guitars that just had natural finishes, or cherry, and I think they did some black finishes as well. And these guitars always appealed to players that wanted kind of just everything stripped away. It stripped away all the fat of what the finish might do to the tone of the guitar. Those guitars had African mahogany, I think, which I'm guessing this is probably the same deal on this guitar because it's a lighter colour. All the specs will be on the website, by the way. But they've decided to add some tasty finishes to these guitars. So this is the first one of the bunch. HSH configuration with a Goto 510, once again. Roasted maple necks. I think all these guitars, maybe apart from the Pete Thorn, have roasted maple. So it's nice to see that be a little bit more freely applied to these guitars. Usually it was kind of a premium or only on certain models, but now everything that I've shown you today has roasted maple on the necks, which is really nice. So I think that's going to tick quite a lot of boxes for quite a lot of people. It's a nice marriage of what Suhr is known for with their amazing finishes, as well as the satin products that they've also been known for. Alright, so to round this off, let me check out the last box, which I believe is another one of these modern satins, so let's check it out. Okay, please don't fall. There we go. Am I blocking the camera angle there? Hopefully not. Okay, last of the guitars today. A little bit more tasteful. This actually looks, well, it reminds me of one of the Guthrie models that they used to do with this natural finish. So it is a natural finish. It's a little bit more understated than that last one, but it's still got a really nice flame to it. You can actually see some really cool sort of imperfections in the wood, which I think always looks really nice on these kind of tops. If you like that sort of thing. Pretty much the same spec through and through. HSH pickups once again, and I neglected to tell you last time that I think these guitars have the SSV and the SSH Plus bridge pickup, which is kind of one of their most high output pickups that they do, but it's always been the go-to in these modern guitars. It's a really nice balance between all 5 positions, and okay, you don't get a coil split on this guitar, but you probably don't need it because you've got 3 in-between tones with coil splits. So that is kind of a nice balance of all things. I think it's not quite as wacky as that previous model, but it is still a nice contemporary blend of some of the classic stuff Suhr has been known to do in more recent years with their wiring and stuff like that, and then you've got the tried and true really nice flashy finishes as well. Okay, let me stick that one down, and as I've still got everything here, let me offer a little recap, which is nice. That feels quite cathartic to do this. So if you want an Alt T, you can now get one in this dealer select guise, which I think is a really good balance of all things. I'm actually quite envious of these guitars. My standard Alt T is brilliant, but I think this is kind of the spec that they maybe should have been all along, with the roasted maple, with the revision back to Thornbucker pickups as opposed to the SSVs, and with the new finishes as well. I really like this trans butterscotch finish. This guitar is a takeoff of a classic T design. Why not give it a classic T finish? And once again, there's left-handed and right-handed variants of everything, so that's good to know. We've also got some of the new signature guitars. This one probably being my favourite, the revision to the Thornley model. I think this is going to be a real big hitter for them actually. As I said, I really liked the old guitar anyway. This new one is going to be just a little bit more accepted by, I think, a wider cross-section of players. And actually I really like the aesthetics of it. I love the brushed nickel humbucker covers. And there's a little bit of aging on this guitar actually. You can see it on the hardware, which isn't something I don't think we've seen from Suhr before, particularly not on a signature guitar, to have this little bit of light aging on the hardware, as well as just the nice kind of tasty relicking on the guitar as well. A couple of different colours on the way. Yeah, revision to the Thornley model, that's a really good one. And then, last of all, we've got these nice new modern satins with the flamey finishes. So, you know, once again, this is kind of referring to what Suhr is best known for in most people's eyes, which is this modern body shape and the kind of high performance, high speed kind of feel to these guitars that they've pioneered. They've just revised it once again with a slightly different makeup to it, if you like. So it's nice and simple. It's not going to quench the tone in any way by having loads of finish on the guitar. So if that's not your thing and you just want a real high performance shred machine that's still got a lot of versatility, this is perhaps the guitar for you. Right, that rounds off a sales pitch for you. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these 8 guitars that I've shown you today. There's plenty more that have arrived on this same shipment, so do check out peachguitars.com. Click the link in the description below to see the rest of the stock that we've got. There'll also be listing videos coming for everything that you've seen here today and more, so you get to hear these guitars as well as see them. Do get in touch with us though if there's a particular spec on these dealer select guitars or anything like that that you want to grab for yourself, because already a couple have sold, and I won't tell you what spec those are, but get in touch with us because there's a bunch of different colours on these Alt Ts, and if you want to be absolutely sure that you secure one for yourself that you want, get in touch very quickly. So that's it for today. Take care of yourselves. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.